Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. Countries in East Africa have been slow to embrace any legal protections for their gay and LGBTQ citizens, which is a shame because we already know that LGBTQ cultures were once celebrated and flourished in East African nations prior to European and Arab colonization, like the gay marriages of the Berber man of Egypt and the gender nonconforming Shoga in Ethiopia and Kenya. For more information on these topics, check out the Pre-Colonial African or the North African Islamic World playlists. In the playlist section, despite these cultural setbacks, many gay East African men and men of East African descent have become gay icons and have shared their stories, beliefs, and love lives with the public through their art, social media, or even religious teachings. So here's a quick list of 6 gay icons from East Africa and the East African diaspora. Nur Warsame, Australia's first gay imam. Nur Warsame is a Somalian immigrant who has been living in Australia for many years and came out to his daughter and then to the public as the first gay imam in Australia in 2010. In interviews with FaceToFaceAfrica.com, Warsame explains how he was respected as an imam in the Melbourne Muslim community, leading many mosques in worship, but after coming out, was outcast from the Muslim community in Melbourne. Another incredible detail about this brave leader is that he's also a Hafiz, meaning he knows the entirety of the Quran by heart, which is an incredible feat. After coming out, Warsame founded Marhaba Incorporated, an organization dedicated to supporting the welfare of LGBT Muslims in Australia. Marhaba meets at the Victorian Pride Centre, the LGBTQ Community Centre in St Kilda, Australia, right outside of Melbourne. Robel Hailu, Mr. Gay World Ethiopia. In 2012, Robel Hailu made Ethiopian history by representing Ethiopia in the Mr. Gay World competition. According to Wikipedia, 2012 was also the first year that the pageant was held on the African continent in Johannesburg, South Africa. Robel Hailu was a student in South Africa at the time, away from his family in Ethiopia, but wanted to represent gay Ethiopians, likely becoming the first openly gay icon from Ethiopia in modern history. In March 2014, he gave an interview on LGBT rights that was transcribed in Amharic in the Ethiopian press. And this is a big deal because the Ethiopian press had little to no gay representation at all before he began to speak up. On World Refugee Day in 2018, the Human Rights Campaign in the US highlighted the work and accomplishments of LGBT rights activists from homophobic countries, including Robel Hailu, who created the organization Ethiopian LGBTI, meant to support the rights of LGBT Ethiopians globally. Solomon Giorgio, comedian and screenwriter. Giorgio is an out gay comedian, actor, and writer who was born and raised in Linwood in Washington State and has become an acclaimed TV screenwriter. Solomon Giorgio has written for some of TV's most popular comedies like Shrill, Survival of the Thickest, and SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob has always felt gay, so knowing that there's gay men in the writer's room for that show makes total sense. Giorgio has also had comedic segments on TV's most popular late night shows like Conan Late Night and Drunk History. Plus, he's had stand-up specials on HBO and Comedy Central. In 2017, he released his first critically acclaimed comedy album, Homo Negro Superior. And I loved his bit about being an Ethiopian American kid getting bullied and being supported by his terrifying mother. His album, Homo Negro Superior, on Spotify's most popular track is Papa Don't Preach, where he talks about his coming out story to his conservative Ethiopian father. Muhammad Abdul Karim Ali, author. Muhammad Abdul Karim Ali released Angry Queer Somali Boy, a complicated memoir in 2019 that details his own life story, leaving his homeland of Somalia in his early childhood and moving from country to country throughout his adolescence. Along the way, it becomes clear to a young Muhammad, as it does with so many of us, that he is queer and that he seems to stand out, carrying himself differently than the other boys his age. Not only does a young Muhammad have to contend with his slightly more effeminate ways, being observed and shamed by schoolmates and family, he also has to deal with the overt and covert racism that affects young black children growing up in Europe and North America. I love this book so much, so check out our literature playlist for the full review. I would definitely say this one is one of my most favorite autobiographies I've ever read. Throughout the book, Ali contends with his Muslim upbringing while constantly being ostracized as a black gay immigrant in Canada and contends with homelessness before becoming a critically acclaimed author. Mike Simmons. Mike Simmons is an out gay politician who in 2021 became the state of Illinois' first out gay senator. Coincidentally, Simmons not only became the state's first gay senator, he also became the first black senator from his district, the 7th District in the north side of Chicago. Mike Simmons has publicly shared his roots in the Chicago community, being raised by a single mother who grew up and was active in the same north side Chicago neighborhoods, running her own hair salon for 25 years. Though Simmons wasn't raised by his father, he is keenly aware of issues affecting migrants to the U.S. because his father was an Ethiopian who entered the country as a refugee. Amongst his many progressive initiatives, Simmons has introduced a bill that requires the state to begin collecting data for LGBTQIA populations to make our community visible when it's time to fund programs and address systemic issues such as inequitable access to quality health care. He has also been a vocal advocate for police accountability, vaccine equity, mental health support, and he has fought to protect critical reproductive rights. Yared Nuguse, Olympic medalist and sprinter. Earlier this year, Ethiopian-American middle distance runner Yared Nuguse shared a selfie with him and his boyfriend on Instagram celebrating their 1-year anniversary. According to Pink News and Outsports.com, Nuguse won the bronze medal at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, snagging the medal at the 1,500-meter running event. He shared to his Instagram several pictures of him and his boo, Falco, out on date nights like eating at restaurants and singing karaoke together. The picture of the adorable couple was posted with the quote, "Introducing my boyfriend," so there was no ambiguity, and the two lovebirds were supported by several fellow Olympians and friends in the Instagram comment sections. Yared Nuguse's parents both hail from Ethiopia, and earlier this year on February 8, 2025, in the Wanamaker Mile, Nuguse set a world record in the indoor mile, running a time of 3:46.63 to win his third Wanamaker title.